I'm Jason Jorgensen. It is time for another edition of Husker Chat as we are joined by Sean Callahan, the publisher of Husker Online. Sean, thanks a lot for the time. Here we go again. Nebraska did some nice things against Indiana, but unfortunately, still they're really searching to putting together a complete game and came up short to the Hoosiers.
Yeah, typically when you put up over 500 yards of offense, you rush for 200 plus, you hold an opponent to about 100 rushing, you're going to win that game most of the time. But as we know, Nebraska's not most of the time right now. I mean, they're the exception, and they had the one or two killer mistakes, the two fumbles on offense that hurt them, the penalty on fourth down, where they had a guy off the line of scrimmage. So those were critical mistakes that took away that for the offense, and then defensively, as we know. They had their worst game of the year against the pass. Give Indiana credit. They out kind of formation Nebraska. They kind of showed run and played run heavier sets as far as how they showed before, and they threw out of them, and they put Nebraska's linebackers in space and drop zone coverages, and they found the soft spots in the zone, and they just picked Nebraska apart. And then special teams, you kick a ball out of bounds, you have a punt go 19 yards. So there were some critical special teams mistakes, a missed field goal. So it was a little bit of everything when you kind of break it all down, and it all led to another loss.
As you look at this season, and certainly things haven't gone as planned, what's the biggest surprise to you when you look at this and see Nebraska sitting here with the record they have at this point?
I just think the biggest surprise is it's taken the offense this long to get going. Even when Adrian Martinez was back, we saw a lack of rhythm. I do think, though, since they've switched more to Wan'Dale Robinson as the featured guy over, say, a Maurice Washington, that's when they've looked their best. Illinois, and then the other day, obviously, against Indiana, we saw them productivity-wise have their best days of the season. So I think Wan'Dale has been a bright spot that's brought things up another level. But I think the biggest thing, Jason, is some of the holes and deficiencies that we knew were on this team are even bigger than we thought, whether it was the linebacker and pass rushing questions that we had, some of the offensive line issues as well, replacing some starters, and then even at receiver. I think we just took for granted guys could just step in and run this offense, and it's not been that easy as far as the wide receiver position goes.
You mentioned Wan'Dale Robinson. He's having a nice year despite being hurt, and it looks like he's tried to step up here and be a leader. Where do you think this team is at emotionally, where it looks like you have some young guys trying to step forward and then some upperclassmen that really haven't been the leaders that Scott Frost probably would have liked?
Yeah, and in my time around Nebraska, there really has never been true freshmen that have kind of taken on leadership roles other than Adrian Martinez a year ago. Tommy Frazier to an extent, but he was later in a year when he took over as the starting quarterback in 92 for Nebraska, or 93 for Nebraska. So it's different with Wan'Dale because this team has so many young guys on it and a lack of veterans. And the veterans that are on the team, very few of them are standout level players. So the window is open for a guy like Robinson to step up and become more of a leader because of just the natural makeup of Nebraska's roster. And he's done enough on the field, he's backed it up, where I think a lot of people do respect him. They know he played on a bum ankle last week against Indiana, and look what he did. So I think Wan'Dale Robinson has kind of earned the right to speak up, and he's using that platform right now.
Hi, this is Jason Jorgensen, Sports Director at KRVN. Thanks for watching our YouTube video. Keep up to date with everything we have going on with our sports coverage. You can find that, and we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel. Just hit the little red button in the right corner.